Hello. Welcome to the Simply Together show. I'm back from Barbados.
Just drop that in, yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, she's really back.
I'm back. I'm back in this country where, as Nike said about a minute ago, the weather is confused. The weather is confused. So last week, I was in a place where it was 31 degrees. And now I'm over here. And what's it doing? It's raining. It's chilly. It's 2 minutes time. It'll be sunny.
Well, yeah.
Half an hour's time. It'll be raining again. Confused. It's confused.
We had a lovely weekend. Lovely Saturday. And then, I mean, I was indoors on Sunday, thankfully, but we'd gone down to London and it was kind of like, do I take my Big Mac? Do I take my brolly? Do I take my coats? Didn't need it, but yeah.
Yeah. And Sunday, we had a couple of those torrential downpours.
Well, they didn't last very long though, did they?
No, but it's long enough to soak you. If you haven't got a brolly or a Mac or a raincoat or some form of shelter, it's enough to soak you. But anyway, the weather's confused. So, how are you doing, Shelley? Haven't seen you in a while.
I know, it's been a couple of weeks. Lots of has been happening in my own life in those couple of weeks. New tablets kicked in big time last week and didn't get anything done. So I'm back kind of leveled out, I think. But I shall update that at another time. But yes.
Okay.
Feel good.
How you doing, Nike?
Me, I'm very good, thank you. So I'm not like the weather, I'm not confused. I'm still buzzing from Friday. On Saturday, to be fair. Although Saturday had nothing to do with Friday because it was in London. Yeah, it's good. And it's good to have you back.
I'm back. Deez back as well. We're both back after our absolutely fantastic trip to Barbados.
So are you going to share? Are you going to tell us about it?
What do you want me to share?
We went to Barbados. We went to Barbados.
We did. We went to Barbados. So we went on a retreat. We did Qigong on the beach in the mornings, you know, so as you're doing those movements and the sound of the sea. Yes, very, very nurturing. We did yoga. We did a hike. We did something very outside my comfort zone. We had plant-based breakfast and lunch. Some days it was okay. Some days it was a bit suspect. But on the whole, people around me know. I don't. I like what I like.
Yeah, I
like what I like. I like what I like.
So, when you say suspect, right? Please kindly explain. I'll tell you why I'm asking, right? Because I've got my feet firmly in the I love my meats and chicken and fish thing. But I am very curious about veganism, and I'm very in my head, if I was going to go plant-based, it would literally be plant-based. So it would be your legumes and your grains and stuff like that. But I wouldn't want any of these mock meats or, you know, those little things that they make up.
No, didn't have any mock meat. We had plant-based. So we had your quinoa, your wild rice, your...
Something like wild rice.
Oh, the wild rice wasn't too bad. The quinoa. Well, so yeah, as I said, I like what I like. Okay. I tried virtually everything. and there was some things that I wasn't keen on, and there were other things that I thought, actually, this tastes quite nice. So on the plane going over, we had a quinoa salad. Oh my God, that nearly killed me. That was disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. Virgin Atlantic, seriously, get the quinoa off of your menu, or you got to step it up, because that just tasted foul.
That doesn't really keep. I can't imagine anything like a grain keeping well on sort of like when it's getting transferred onto planes and stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Not nice.
No.
But then when we had quinoa with our personal chef, we had a personal chef, Corey. He came in breakfast and lunchtime. He's the one who's doing plant-based, everything plant-based. So he did quinoa. I was very scared to taste that after the one on the flight. I was just like, oh no. But his, when you add a bit of spice in it, a bit of plantain in it, you know, some, you know, those kind of things, that actually tasted really good. It tastes really good. There's a lot of chickpeas being used, and I don't like chickpeas, so there was something.
Oh, you don't like chickpeas? Oh,
no,
I love chickpeas.
No.
I did try. I did keep trying them. You know, I did keep having a go. It's like it's a bit like olives, isn't it? Because you either like them or you don't like them.
Yeah, I don't like olives. Yeah, I get that. It's just going back to what Shelley said, because I'm on this journey now where I'm trying to get more involved with salads and things. And so the other time I made a salad, I did use chickpeas, but what I did was I roasted them in the air fryer first.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
And honestly, it was a game changer. And it kept. So obviously, I took some of that salad to work the next day, and it did keep quite nicely. Whereas the way you described the quinoa on Virgin Atlantic, it sounds to me like you're putting wet sand in your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. Grain, sands of good, you know, yeah, definitely. It was just, and I just thought, oh my God, I haven't even got to bloody Barbados yet, and I can't eat the food. How is this going to work? And, you know, I've got Dee next to me who's laughing. I've got Sandra this side of me who's laughing. And I'm just thinking, I might as well just go home now, because I am not going to have anything to eat. But, like I said, breakfast and lunch, there were some things that I didn't eat, but I wasn't the only one. There were other things that I thought, actually, this is really nice and I could do this myself. Would I go completely plant-based? I don't know, because I do like my meat and my fish and stuff like that. But we went out in the evenings. So I did have that, and I had some Barbadian rum as well.
Ooh, sounds nice.
And a few cocktails as well.
Ooh.
So it was lovely. It was lovely, and the apartments were lovely. We'll share them on our page, because if you're going over there and you need somewhere to stay, Shade's apartments are just lovely, absolutely brilliant. So yeah. So have I come back totally changed food-wise? I don't think so. I will change some things. Some things will change. Am I going fully plant-based? No. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest.
But vegan things make really nice sides.
What does?
Vegan food. Like I watch a lot of vegan channels. Don't ask me why, I couldn't possibly explain. They make something. I thought, oh, that's really nice. That would go really nice for the side of chicken.
See, quite often, if I've gone out for a meal, I found that the vegan option as the starter is something that I'll always go for.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird.
Okay.
It's always something that's a little bit different, a little bit tasty, and as you say, like not trying to replicate the meat. It is just plants that are actually then used, and often.
We did say, I was thinking it, and Dee said it, Nike would absolutely love this food, and talking to Corey about how he cooks it and everything else. You would have been in your element, Nike.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Because you're a foodie and you do all of your videos and everything. So you would really have just kind of got yourself well stuck into that. Whereas for me, it was like, tell me as little as possible and let me just taste it. Because once you tell me what's in it, then my mind will make the decision as to whether I'm going to eat it or not, as opposed to tasting it and liking it. So yeah, I'm a, you know, them people that like what they see. Yes, I'm one of those ones. Please don't tell me what's in it, because I might not have a go.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But anyway, we are going to share some more of that. We're going to Dee is going to get Corey and also the owners of Shades Apartments onto the Real Talk show, so you'll be able to get some more information. And Sandra is already looking at next year's retreat, which will be October time. So you better start saving your pennies, both of you, because you both need to come.
Next year, October. Okay, so far as it doesn't clash with Black Rock Camp, I'll be there. I'm going to go and create my little pot now.
You will just love it. You will love it. So we're back home. We're back in Luton, and we're back in Luton, and
into the busiest weekend.
I know, into the busiest weekend that Luton has for the whole year. Happy birthday, Samara. Hope you're doing well. Not happy birthday, Rita. Hello, Rita, and hello, Jenny. Yeah, straight into that weekend.
Extra long weekend.
It was amazing.
Right? What did you think?
Yeah, I went on Friday. I absolutely loved it. I was a little bit gutted. We didn't go as early as I would have liked, but I think that was more to do with communication and stuff between me and my friends. But we got there, a good time to see the main acts, and we walked around. The food was amazing if you wanted to spend that amount of money on it, but it was very good. Yeah, the atmosphere was just amazing, honestly. You know, like I was saying before I came on, because obviously I was looking out for you, because I believe that you were going on Friday. I was looking out for various people that I knew from work, but I didn't see anybody, but I saw loads of people that I knew. And for me, it was confirmation that I think I can claim to be a Litonian now. I've lived here since 2001. Yeah, I think I can claim it now, because I went out, and honestly, I was just seeing people all the time. And they were all people from Luton. They were not like people that have come from outside. But the vibe and the atmosphere was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Louise. Yeah.
I saw Louise.
Did you?
Yeah. She says, I'm coming back tomorrow.
On the Friday that she's watching. So Jenny was there on the Friday as well.
Yeah. I mean, I bumped into somebody that I have known since, I don't know, for about 30 years. I used to work with. But yeah, I then spent most of the evening trying to find my brother and my daughter. And I literally found my daughter as everything closed.
Yeah, because there's no signal there. The signal there was really bad.
No, absolutely. The amount of telephone calls that have just, you know, we were going back and forth. My son found me as soon as he arrived. But the other two, spent I don't know how long looking for them, but saw so many other people. So one of our ladies in the Simply Deez camp, I'm just trying to find it. She says, oh God, where did she put it? Where did
Oh no, you're talking about, that was Carnival, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
We go to Carnival.
Yes.
So we had the big weekend on the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, and then on Monday was Carnival. I think walking around, I just had this sense of community.
Yeah.
You know, I was just not overwhelmed, but just overjoyed to see so many people that had come out. The fact that little old Luton, that has so much bad press, had all these artists from the Friday to the Sunday.
Yeah.
Massive artists, absolutely massive in Luton.
Yeah.
They were in Luton. And that's all I kept thinking. They were in Luton, you know?
Well, that was my reason for going, because I know we've had this conversation before, because I know you like going to festivals and stuff like that. Whereas, concerts and things, if I know the artist and I'm really, oh my God, I'm really love to go see them. But because this was in Luton, I just thought, well, it would be a really good thing to go. And I'm so glad, because it gave me the kind of vibe that I do not believe, and this is just me, apart from the euphoria of the fact that everybody came together as a community during lockdown. The last time I felt that type of vibe that made me feel happy to be part of like Catano City was when we hosted the Olympics. So,
Okay.
you know, like 2011, 2012, there was like a Jubilee, there was the Olympics, I think there was football, and the year before that, William and Kate got married. I mean, it was all good then. And, you know, the vibe of the country was just up there.
Yeah.
And I think this, for me, was on a par with that, especially when you consider we're on the backdrop of a cost of living crisis.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Jenny's been listening to Rudimental and Chasing Status around the clock since. Yeah. I have been waiting, I don't know how many years, every time I've tried, and then there's been COVID and such, like, to get tickets to go and see Rudimental. So I was in my absolute element. Chasing Status is not necessarily my thing, but I was still there because it was just the vibe was just unbelievable. And Louise, you're right. Luton did us proud.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that, you know, this is all done via Radio 1, etc., Luton pulled it off. Luton pulled it off.
Yeah, and people were so happy because even like the marshals, but obviously by the time we were walking up, we didn't come with the crowds, and they were still there, and they were still smiling, and you know they were still using their pointy hand things, and you just think, yeah,
it was, you know, and Rita said her legs are killing her, which that and everybody else. Like Louise says, Coldplay. So Coldplay wrote a song for us.
Oh yeah.
You know, where do you get that? Where do you get that? So Chris Martin is up there singing a song for us. How does that even happen?
That he actually made up the night before.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Obviously, because he obviously learned about. I think because I heard the song, I saw the song on Facebook, but it was just the song. And then Dennis sent me the whole clip where he talked about the fact that they've got this song and it's called Yellow, and we know we can't sing it in Luton. And so I said, what are they talking about? I said, what they're talking about? You know, Luton, what clothes did they black themselves, all that type of thing. And so they had all that little banter going on. And then, and I'm sitting there, I'm holding my phone looking at it, and I was just grinning.
I went there with my cousin, Wanda from Funk Odyssey, who is still touring with Sister Sledge, just getting that out there. And we kind of walked around, bumped into a few people, and we were over by what may have been the dance tent. I don't know what they called it, but
that big fat tent where they had all the DJs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of my daughter's friends said that she's in there, right? In there, you couldn't even get in there because it was absolutely full. Absolutely full. We're outside because it was packed. So there's no way I was even going to go in to look for her because But there was a family next to us, and there were what looked like grandma, then either the son or daughter, but the mum and dad of the 3 kids that they'd brought with them, 4 kids. One of them must have been about 4 years old. He'd got his headphones on, his ear defenders on, And at one point he was on Dad's shoulders and he was giving it all of this. And it was like, oh my God, look, just look at them. They've come out as a family.
Yeah.
And they are partying as a family. And they've got the youngest of the kids in there. And it was fabulous to see. It was just absolutely fabulous to see.
One of my friends has said that it was a very similar atmosphere as you get at Camp Festival, which is in Dorset, and that's very family orientated. That's a family orientated festival.
Yeah,
he said it felt exactly the same.
Yeah. Okay. Because there are festivals that you go to, or festivals that I've been to, that are literally adults and there will be no children there, you know. And if I'm there, I'm most probably the oldest person that's there, because actually it's all aimed at younger people. But there are other ones that you can go to and it's family. You know, you bring your children along, you know. And the amount of times I've heard people say, I don't know why they take their children to Glastonbury. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You know, because that's how it all starts. That's how your children get into these things, because you've taken them.
Yeah, I think it's what you imagine happens there. To be honest, that is the type of thing that I would have thought before. Simply because you have this idea that certain things are going on that you wouldn't want your children to be privy to.
Like what? Give me a clue. Give me a clue.
People are chilling out with some substances.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then what that entails. So whether it be drinking or whether it be anything else, then yes.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, but then what I realised is that actually that is a waste of time, because that stuff happens regardless. It happens everywhere. It's going on. You could be walking on the street. It's going to be on the train. I mean, drinking's banned on the train, but the number of times I'm coming back on the train and there's all sorts of stuff going on. So then I learned, not too early on, but not too late either. A good few years ago, I just thought, actually, it is what it is. If it's an adult rated, if it's an adult thing, as in like going to a festival, but then if I've got children, I want to take my children there. The onus is on me to look out for my children. Yeah. And if we come across something, then you explain. I don't know when I had that epiphany, but it did happen. But I can understand why people would initially say, why do you want to take children there? Because
but ultimately, you're taking children there so they can see the artists, so they can hear the music, so they can get into, you know, to have that experience.
I think it's important now as well, because remember when we were growing up, there was no social media, there was no streaming. You know, you just heard what you heard on the radio, what you read about in Jackie magazine, and then it's like, oh my God, it was so good if we could go to this concert or to that concert, and you just heard about it through the traditional ways. And so I think
because there was only two ways of getting a single that you could listen to yourself. You either went and bought it, or you waited for the charts and then tried to pause. That's the only two ways that you could get your music.
Exactly.
It's. I think it's. I think after the football, what was that? The week before, because we were literally supposed to be in a workshop in where I was in Barbados. We were supposed to be in a workshop, but actually there was 4 of us who were watching the Luton match, you know. So because that was and fair play, and they have been absolutely wonderful. And I think the response from that, via social media, where everyone's saying how proud they were of Luton, how well they did, and you know, everything else that has gone with that, to then go to the next week or the week after that, and then you've got this whole big event going on. And it shows again how proud we are as Lutonians for what we managed to pull off, you know. Yeah, it was, I just think, where do you get Rudimental, Chasing Status, Ray, Rag and Bone Man? Where do you get Coldplay in your own little town?
Yeah,
that doesn't happen, but it did.
I didn't know this Jason Statham or whatever it's called. I didn't know him.
Did you not know some of the? Did you not know some of it when
oh,
you
no,
heard?
We didn't stay. We left.
Oh, okay.
So we listened to some of the DJ set, and then we left. But
if you'd have stayed, you would have recognised some of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
The music, yeah.
Because even the Rudimental, to be honest, if I'm very sincere with you, why did I know them? I think it's that their song. But then there were all these other songs. I was thinking to myself, oh, was that Rudimental? Really? That was Rudimental. But how come I know this song? So that was really good. I really enjoyed that. But yeah.
It was, I mean, from my perspective, and I think from a lot of people, you know, it was an absolute fantastic event. If you managed to get tickets to go and see all of it, well done. Some of us only got to go once, but actually just the whole event itself was fantastic. We need more taxis because getting home was a nightmare. And we thought about getting there, but we didn't think about getting home. We thought, oh, we'll leave and we'll go and get a taxi, along with the other however many thousands of people who were going to get a taxi.
Dennis was well happy. I messaged him about what time. I said, where are you? He says, I'm taking the revelers home. And, that was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Because it was interesting. When my friend said to me, oh, should we get an Uber? And I'm like, what for? And she's looking at me. I said, where are we going to get an Uber from? Considering all the roads are blocked off. But we got on the buses.
Yeah, I didn't know there were buses. So we didn't get a bus.
To be sincere, the only reason why we found out about the buses was because we were just trying to make sure we're getting on the right path to head right towards Luton Airport Parkway. I was like, yeah, go that way. And I looked up and I just thought, oh. I said, well, what are those buses over there for? And so that was good. So we went on the buses. And I did tell them that they need to try and fill the buses up because obviously people are going to be coming out. And that was I think that guy, what's it called? Chasing Status or whatever his name is. I keep wanting to say, what's that guy? Jason
I don't know.
Statham. You know,
Jason Statham. That is not who was there. That is not who was there. Want to say, you know, well done to all of those volunteers. Well done to the welfare tents because there was a few of them. Rita said she needed to go and sit down and take a medication. We had somebody that we know who ended up going to the welfare tent. You know, they were there, and I think literally within minutes of them being, you know, someone going and saying we need some help, they were then there to wherever they needed to be. So well done to them as well, because they did really well. I know that some people said that the drinks and the food were really expensive.
Yeah, I think they were, to be fair. I think considering we've already just extolled the virtues of it being really family orientated, I thought that was really kind of not right. And the only other thing I didn't like, but I think that's just me, I think I'm showing my age, and I just don't agree that all these things should be cashless all the time.
I think that's quite new.
Yeah.
There are a number of festivals that are going cashless. I mean, with regards to the drink and the food, when I spoke to Remy about it, who goes to all these different festivals and stuff like that, she said it was about the same as anywhere else that she's been. So I think for some people, yeah, that's what Jenny's saying. It's standard prices for these kind of events. So for maybe maybe for you who hasn't been to festivals, or this is a new kind of thing that you're doing, for those who go on a regular basis, those prices are quite standard.
Yeah.
Even going
Unfortunately.
to shows, because on Sunday I went to a show in London, like Mind Body Spirit Fair thing, and even the prices that are actually in there, they were wanting £6 for a sandwich. Nothing special, just the bog standard sandwich in a box.
Mm.
Yeah. And then like your £2-3 for a can of a drink.
Yeah.
So they know that they've got you there, so they'll put their prices up. That's what it feels like anyway.
Yeah, I think that
they also have to pay a fair amount to have a pitch.
They do,
yeah.
You know, those pitches are not cheap, so
But it's everything, isn't it? Yeah, it's everything. When I say that I felt that the drinks and things were expensive, it's not even a dig at the people doing it, because I'm aware that they have to pay for their picture things. I just think certain things could be smaller. The prices could have been smaller, but other than that, that did not detract from anything. Because really and truly, if my intention was to go there just for the music, for example, I mean, and I put popcorn and peanuts in my bag. I had I had scones in there. I had water in there, but I still bought food.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I just think it would have been a bit nicer if it had been a little bit lower priced. But then again, the tickets to go there were not really very expensive either, were they?
Well, and that's the knock-on effect, because actually, if you're going to any kind of festival or any kind of gig, you know, you're lucky if you get any change from £50 a ticket, and they can be even more. So the fact that the tickets were so low kind of does offset it a little bit. But yeah, you just have to. The way I do it is I then prepare. So if I've got a gig to go to in that month, I know it's going to cost me this amount of money, and I know the drinks are going to cost me this amount of money, and you kind of just prepare for that. Yeah.
Rita's saying about the card payments, because it's easy when you've got a big festival like that you could get a bunch of money that's not right.
Yeah.
And easily then pass it on to the stall holders. So it's just so much easier just to have a contactless payment type thing. Then you're not worried about.
And if you think about it, that's the way the world's going anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, as much as whether we like it or not, you know, the banks are going, everything is, they want your cards more than cash.
Even to the point where if you know that you're going to a festival and you're going to eat there, you're going to need like a minimum £50 in your pocket.
Yeah.
You could have so many people who will then be stealing money off of you. So if it's then all on your card and stuff, it's like...
Yeah, I suppose that is one consideration. But I'll tell you the funny thing is that I didn't even feel that. I felt that if I dropped my bag or phone somewhere, that I would have found it. Because that is the vibe that I felt of that. And I'm not saying that people should be careless when they go to places like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, what you said there just reminds me of how good and happy I felt there.
Yeah.
So,
and as then sort of Patricia then turned around and said, and how I felt on the Monday when it then came to the carnival, there was so much more security there on the Monday, because they were then being employed, if you like, for the whole weekend. So those that are working big weekends also then working Monday. So quite a lot of people said, there's more security. And because I spoke to one of my friends that's on security, said, we've been working all weekend. Right. And then the Monday at the carnival was their last day of working, because he looked absolutely knackered, bless him.
I mean, I've done that when I used to do Amptill Festival. By the time you get to the end of the weekend, you're absolutely exhausted. You know, they have worked a lot. and you know, they were needed. Because actually, you need to have people around so that they've got somebody someone can go and talk to or ask a question or something like that. But yeah, so again, the pride that was there at the carnival as well. You know, that feeling of pride with for what Luton can do.
Yeah, you had a few people that that came out to carnival because they were still in that kind of a mood. They'd been to big weekends. They then decided to come down to carnival that don't normally come down to carnival.
Yeah.
There was people there, I presume, that had still stayed around if they stayed over in town, because all the hotels were fully booked up in town, apparently. For those for big weekends. So if they were around, you sort of, well, what's kind of going on, and stayed around for a bit. It did feel different this carnival to other carnivals.
Because
I'm not entirely sure. It felt more of an upbeat party atmosphere right from the very beginning. There was a lot of people that were chatting to other people, even if they didn't know kind of like one another. As I said, there was more security guards kind of around by the time that they came out at like the 11, 12-ish, because the carnival didn't start off until about like the procession part of it. It did feel different. It almost felt like back to what I remember it being like in the 80s and then the 2000s, that it was everyone out like together kind of thing. And I suppose it helped with the weather. Everyone had like the big, like a nice weekend as such in general. That it did feel different. But then with carnival, you don't then actually then get like an after party or anything. We said about that before, didn't we? But then that makes it more of a family atmosphere. So whether that then works that way around or not, I don't know.
It used to still have that family atmosphere and still have an after party.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that for Luton itself, there's been 3 things in a row. You know, the football, then we've had the big weekend, and then we've had the carnival. They've been some really, really good things that have happened. And I think if you're listening, Luton Town Council or whoever else there is, they need to keep that momentum up. They need to do other things as well. You know, I think
what needs to kind of happen more is that it's the inclusion exclusion thing that kind of grates on me sometimes, that it's kind of, there are all these festivals going on all of the time, and just because it gets publicized in a certain place doesn't mean it's just for them. We need to be all in each other's celebrations. Understanding one another, understanding where all these different celebrations then come from, and just celebrating. Just we are such a huge melting pot of different people that we just all need to be in all this together.
And they need to share that because the week before I went away, there was something going on out the back of, it's not even called the mall now, is it?
No.
What? Out the back of the Arndale, because I don't even know what it's called now. Out the back where you've got Cheapside and you walk to the train station, the area where the flamingos are.
The Hat Factory Garden, as they call it,
Right. So there was something going on there the week before I went away. They had music, but I don't even remember seeing it advertised.
Yeah,
There
I think
was
where we
people there.
haven't got a local paper anymore, things kind of get put onto Facebook, but it doesn't. If it's not hitting right on Facebook, it doesn't get shared properly. Yeah, I mean, I think it was it half term when you? No, it wouldn't have been.
No, we're half term now.
Yeah, I'm half term now. I'm trying to think what it would have been, but yeah, I mean, we're starting to pick up a few things where you've got. I mean, we just had Eid go past, and a few people didn't realise that there was different things going on with that, like where they've got like their little carnival kind of thing, and their like stuff that's then going on, which is a good one to actually go and see, because they've got their big stage going on and dancing and food exactly the same. Yeah, it seems to still a lot better than it used to be, a lot better than it used to be, but it still seems to be that it's kind of, yeah, with the whole momentum of everything, it should really be open for everyone.
So I think the consensus is that the weekend has been absolutely fantastic, and Luton has just shone, hasn't it?
Indeed.
It's been, you know, absolutely brilliant. And if you didn't get to go, maybe you'll be able to go another year in another area. It's not, they move the big weekend every year, so it's not going to be back here anytime soon. But it you know, it just shows that actually as a town we can pull together, and we can come out in force and show people that we're there to support. So we need to do that for other things as well. I think that's the thing to take on board, is we need to do that for other things that happen in the town, because it's all inclusive, because we are multicultural.
I mean, even I mean, it's a lot of money to put something like this on, but Luton has got, and sort of like surrounding like Bedfordshire, we've got a lot of local bands and a lot of local artists. I say artists, yeah, because you could have it all the way through all the different music genres, that you could easily put something on, like your Amptill Festival, like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But then in Luton, and celebrate sort of everything that we then got like locally. I mean, I know they had like local introducing, didn't they? That had a few.
Yeah, it had BBC introducing on each day, and had some people on those. Maybe that's something that Luton need to have a look at. I know that they've tried to do that in the past. It's not easy.
No,
it isn't. It's not easy, and it costs a whole load of money. But maybe that's something that they could think about for another year, to see if we can then get other people involved. So, okay. Have you got any other thoughts on it, Nikkei, before we go?
No, I agree with what you said. Basically, celebrate all the wonderful things that happen in Luton, get everybody together. It's good.
It is good. It is good. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. And so, did you go to the carnival yesterday, Shelley?
I did. Yes, went down to the carnival.
Did you see our lady?
I went down by myself because I knew I was going to bump into someone. Because a few people were trying to recover from a couple of weeks away and had to work and everything else. Yes, I went down by myself, and I did have some cookies and some bits and things that were kind of needed to be eaten. So I kind of bumped into Babs Michelle off Three Counties Radio. So I went and surprised her and her crew with a few biscuits and bits and pieces. So
nice.
we had a quick chat. We had a quick chat on it. Well, actually off air and then on air, as I was just happened to be stood there. So yes, she was right in the St. George's Square. So where you come all the way through the parade, and then you do your little party piece to get
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they do that dance bit that's then in there, which used to be all up the park, wasn't it, before? Yeah. But yeah, where they come through from Flowers Way right down up to the town hall, do their party piece, and then go to the Hat Factory.
Where's Flowers Way?
Flowers Way is the other side of where the Crown Court is. So rather than coming down Park Street, the other side of where the Crown Court is, so they then come into Market Hill. Because you can't go from, with their floats, you can't go from where the university is through Market Square next to where Debenhams was. That bit's not wide enough. So they did the kink round last year, but then they decided to start it on that side anyway.
So is Flowers Way where
it's the car
casino
park
is?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's right out the back there. Yeah.
Who knew that then?
Not me. Not me.
There's 3 of us on here, and only one person knew Flowers Way. I never heard of no Flowers Way.
It's because my granddad and then my dad are all Lutonians, so I remember old parts of Luton town. So if I had to say to my dad, "Can you come pick me up?" I'd have to say the old name of a nightclub or a place that he would remember to then know where he's coming to pick me up.
Listen, we're still saying the old name of things like the Arndale. Some of us are still that old that we're using those terms. Okay, so did you see Tishi?
I didn't actually get to speak to Tishi, but I then saw her come past.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So everything was absolutely amazing down there. Absolutely. And there was a lot. I think there was newer people that have come into the carnival now than they used to be. So it does look like it is actually then going to be something that's now, I think it's now settled where they now parade. And I think it's now only going to get bigger and better. Bigger and better. St. George's Square got fuller quicker this year than it did last year.
Okay.
People were then actually realising exactly what was kind of like going on. So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's good.
So hopefully it might start to get back to the way it was when it was the biggest one-day carnival in Europe.
Yeah,
many moons ago. So
that's when I used to do. That's when I used to do the first day duty with St. John's back in those days, and you were literally all the way down, sort of like you from the town hall all the way up to Market Hill. Was absolutely jam packed, and that's where you had all your different music stages as well. And we did put the kettle on in the first aid because we had like the container unit kind of thing as our like first aid, not a tent, but yes, at that. And someone did put the kettle on, and it blew the electrics for the stage opposite us. It was that busy. We kind of like something a bit too electric went off. But
wow.
So my hope is that it will go back to how it used to be. But Jenny is most probably right that the council will fight to keep the carnival small. The carnival is expensive to the police. I don't care. I don't care whether it's expensive to the police or not. And that might not be the thing I'm supposed to say, but I don't actually care because
there's no reason why you should care.
It was better, and I pay my council tax, and I pay a whole load of money. Take some of that and use that for the carnival. That's a whole different show, isn't it? That's a whole different show.
What I was going to say though is that going back to the point you alluded to earlier, if they keep it small, then that is going to make for more post-carnival raves and things because people want to continue, don't they? I think right now, with it being small, family orientated and stuff like that, but there will be those who still want to continue the, should I say the grown-up vibe, and it will just lead to there being more raves in different places. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I think.
Yeah. So we'll save that for maybe October, November time.
Yeah,
And we'll get Jenny on. We'll get Jenny on and we will debate that whole topic, because I'm sure there's plenty of people that have got something to say. Yeah. But it was lovely yesterday. I was at work, but Shelley went down and it was absolutely fantastic. So we've had 4 days of fabulosity in Luton, and Luton pulled it all off. So wonderful. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. It is the big event thing. It is.
The cost of paying the police is massive. They cannot currently afford basic policing. The council cannot afford to fix the potholes. These are priorities. The potholes, again, that's another topic. That is an absolute topic that we need to discuss.
Not all the potholes are for the council there. Some of them are for the highways.
I'm pretty sure they could afford to fix them if they didn't use money on something else that they don't need to use it on. But like I said, we've had 4 days of fabulosity.
What about me?
We've had 4 days of fabulosity, and that's what we're ending with.
We need this momentum to go all the way through summer now. That's what we
just need it to carry on. Find some other things to do throughout the next couple of months. And yeah, so if you... I already know the picture, Rita. I already saw them. I just wasn't talking about it on here because it's not appropriate. I'll tell you off air. Oh, look, listen, I'm sounding like I'm on a radio. I'll tell you off air.
That's right, yeah.
Now, if we want to protect our time, we need to encourage everyone to vote.
Yeah, yes.
Ooh. That's Jenny coming on 2 programs.
Yeah, but it is, yeah.
We need to talk about the voting. So maybe that'll be
actually, that's a good one. But I think that could be a tagline. I mean, obviously, if you don't agree, but it should be a tagline to encourage everybody to vote and to get their voters' ID. We need to say it. You can't wait for just a program. I think we need to say it all the time. Get your voters' ID, folks.
Can't you just use your passport or your driving license? She's gone.
She just took herself off.
She's gone. She's gone. Okay, so absolutely fantastic weekend. It's been absolutely brilliant, and Luton just shone. It just literally shone. So in the next week or 2, we are going to have a program about the elections and voting, and we'll be in touch, Jenny. Anything else we need to do before we go, Shelley?
No, just keep an eye on. Oh, she's coming back. I think. I don't know what's on there. Just keep an eye out on all of our social medias, because yes, we have to. Us as the management, sitting down, sorting out bits and pieces, events, incoming to take us through the summer. And we are promoting quite a lot of different other people's events as well. So looking on that in together, share together group, and in our friends of Simply Deez group, there's a lot that's going to be shared out there, because it's going to be, as I said, the momentum from this weekend to take all the way through summer. So this summer is going to be a big one. So yes.
So keep an eye.
Yeah.
Jenny said the same as you, Nikkei. People need to start sorting out their IDs now. So we need to just keep pushing that.
Yeah. More and more places are actually looking for photo ID. So if you don't have a passport, don't have a driving license, find another way of actually then getting that.
Yeah.
Because even banks and things have actually then need a photo ID and stuff now as well.
Yeah.
So
if you've got if you still have the old paper driving license, you need to get a new one.
Yes.
I'm not doing that. I do have the old paper one. It's hanging by a thread. I'm not going to get a new one, but I have other ID. It's fine.
Funny enough, we know you got a passport.
Yeah, because I've been to Barbados. Did you know that? I went to Barbados. Anyway, so let us know if you're watching on catch up. Let us know what you thought about the whole weekend, the whole festival, the carnival yesterday, and we'll be back next week, same time, 12 o'clock, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.